The 1960s gave birth to musical revolutions that still echo today. While everyone remembers the big hits, some of the most groundbreaking songs quietly slipped through the cracks of history. These are the 10 forgotten tracks from the 60s that changed music forever. Number 10. She's Not There. By the Zombies, released in 1964. She's Not There marked the Zombies' debut and introduced something completely new to popular music. Written by keyboardist Rod Argent. When he was just 19 years old, this haunting ballad reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 12 in the UK. What made this song revolutionary was its sophisticated jazz-influenced arrangement combined with Colin Blunstone's ethereal vocals. The minor key melody and Argent's atmospheric electric piano created a sound that was years ahead of its time. Unlike the straightforward rock songs dominating the charts, She's Not There featured complex chord progressions and an almost impressionistic approach to popular music. The song's influence extended far beyond its chart success. Its use of jazz harmonies in a pop context would later inspire countless bands, from progressive rock groups to alternative artists of the 1980s and beyond. The breathy vocal style Colin Blunstone pioneered on this track became a template for a generation of singers seeking to convey intimacy and vulnerability.
How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't.
George Harrison of the Beatles praised the song on the TV show Jukebox Jury, helping propel it to success. But more importantly, She's Not There proved that popular music could be both commercially successful and musically sophisticated. It opened doors for bands to experiment with complex arrangements without sacrificing accessibility.
She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she...
The Zombies' innovative approach to pop music construction, first showcased on She's Not There, would eventually culminate in their masterpiece Odyssey and Oracle in 1968, widely regarded as one of the finest albums of the psychedelic era.
Her voice was soft and cold, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
Number 9. I Had Too Much to Dream, Last Night, by the Electric Prunes.
I had too much to drink last night. Too much to drink.
When the Electric Prunes released I Had Too Much to Dream, Last Night, in November 1966, they created what many consider the first true psychedelic rock hit. The song peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, but its influence stretched far beyond its commercial performance. Written by Annette Tucker and Nancy Mance, the song was brought to life by producer Dave Hassinger and the band's innovative approach to studio techniques. The opening backwards guitar effect was discovered almost by accident during recording sessions at Leon Russell's home studio. Guitarist Ken Williams had been experimenting with his 1958 Gibson Les Paul through a Bigsby vibrato unit when they played the tape backwards, creating an otherworldly sound that became the song's signature hook. This track essentially invented the psychedelic sound that would dominate the late 1960s. The combination of fuzz tone, tremolo, reversed tape effects, and distorted vocals created a sonic palette that bands like The Doors, Jefferson Airplane, and countless garage rock acts would adopt and expand upon. The song's production techniques were revolutionary for their time. The use of tape manipulation, multiple overdubs, and electronic effects showed musicians and producers what was possible in the studio. It proved that the recording studio itself could be treated as an instrument, a concept that would become central to psychedelic and progressive rock. I Had Too Much to Dream, Last Night, became the opening track on the legendary Nuggets compilation in 1972, cementing its status as a cornerstone of garage rock and psychedelia. Its influence can be heard in everything from punk rock to shoegaze, proving that sometimes the most experimental music creates the most lasting impact. Number 8. 96 Tears By, and the Mysterians.
96 years.
In 1966, a group of Mexican-American teenagers from Michigan released what many consider the first punk rock song ever recorded. 96 Tears by ? And the Mysterians not only reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, but it also established a template that punk bands would follow for decades to come.
And when the sun comes up, I'll be on top. You be right down.
Written by the enigmatic lead singer known only as ? The song featured a distinctive organ riff played on a Vox Continental by 14-year-old Frank Rodriguez. The raw, minimalist approach, combined with intense vocals and the band's garage-based sound, created something entirely new in popular music.
For one heart to be crying.
What made 96 Tears so influential was its complete rejection of the polished production values that dominated mid-60s pop. Recorded on a shoestring budget in Bay City, Michigan, the song's lo-fi aesthetic and aggressive attitude would become hallmarks of punk rock a decade later. The Ramones, the Cramps, and countless other punk bands cited 96 Tears as a major influence.
I'll just cry. I'll just cry.
The song's success proved that music didn't need to be sophisticated to be powerful. Its simple structure, memorable organ hook, and emotional directness connected with audiences in a way that many more complex songs couldn't match. This lesson wouldn't be lost on future generations of musicians who valued authenticity over technical perfection. Beyond its musical influence, 96 Tears was culturally significant as one of the first major hits by a Chicano rock band, ? And the Mysterians' success opened doors for other Latino artists and showed that rock and roll could be a vehicle for diverse voices and experiences. The song's impact extends to this day. Its DNA can be found in garage rock revivals, indie rock, and any music that values raw emotion over polished presentation.
Come on, let me hear you cry now. 96 years. Woo! I wanna hear you.
Number 7. Wild Thing by the Troggs.
Wild thing, I think you move me.
When the Troggs released Wild Thing in 1966, they created one of rock's most primal and influential tracks. Written by Chip Taylor and reaching #1 in the US and #2 in the UK, this seemingly simple song fundamentally changed how rock music could sound and feel.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
What made Wild Thing revolutionary was its complete embrace of simplicity and sexuality in rock music. The song's 3-chord progression, basic drum beat, and Reg Presley's unpolished vocals stripped rock down to its most essential elements. This wasn't the sophisticated pop of the Beatles or the blues-based rock of the Rolling Stones. This was something more primitive and powerful.
You make everything groovy.
The production, handled by Larry Page, was deliberately raw and unrefined. The slightly out-of-tune vocals, the basic instrumentation, and the overall rough-hewn quality gave the song an authenticity that resonated with audiences. It proved that technical perfection wasn't necessary for emotional impact.
Wild thing.
Wild Thing became a template for countless garage rock and punk bands. The song's approach, taking a simple riff, adding aggressive vocals, and keeping everything raw and immediate, influenced everyone from the Stooges to the White Stripes. Its 3-chord progression became one of the most copied structures in rock history.
Come on, wild thing.
The song's sexual frankness was also groundbreaking. While other songs of the era dealt with love and romance in metaphorical terms, Wild Thing was direct and unabashed in its desire. This openness paved the way for more explicit rock music in the years to come. Perhaps most importantly, Wild Thing showed that rock music could be made by anyone with basic musical skills and something to say. You didn't need conservatory training or expensive equipment. You just needed attitude and authenticity.
Come on and hold me tight.
Number 6. Louie by the Kingsmen. The Kingsmen's 1963 version of Louie, became one of the most influential recordings in rock history, despite being a cover of Richard Berry's 1957 original. This garage rock masterpiece spent 6 weeks in the Billboard Top 10 and fundamentally changed the landscape of popular music. What made the Kingsmen's version so powerful was its complete transformation of Berry's relatively polished original into something raw and immediate. Recorded in one take at a small studio in Portland, Oregon, the band's version featured muffled vocals, a driving rhythm, and an overall sound that was both primitive and incredibly exciting.
Okay, let's give it to 'em right now.
The song's influence on garage rock cannot be overstated. Its 3-chord progression, steady beat, and straightforward structure became the foundation for thousands of bands across America. Every garage band in the 1960s seemed to have Louie in their repertoire, and many made it their signature song. But the song's impact went beyond just garage rock. The FBI actually launched an investigation into the supposedly obscene lyrics, convinced that Jack Ely's mumbled vocals contained profanity. The controversy only increased the song's popularity and established it as an early example of rock music's rebellious power. Louie proved that rock music didn't need to be complex to be effective. Its simplicity was its strength. Any teenager with a guitar could learn it, and many did. This democratization of rock music helped fuel the explosion of bands in the mid-1960s. The song's legacy extends to punk rock, where its raw energy and simple structure provided a blueprint for the genre. From the Ramones to Nirvana, countless bands have acknowledged Louie as a foundational influence. Number 5. Psychotic Reaction by Count 5. Released in 1966, Psychotic Reaction by Count 5 became a garage rock classic that perfectly captured the raw energy and experimental spirit of mid-60s rock. The song reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and established many of the sonic elements that would define punk rock a decade later.
Oh, little girl, psychotic reaction.
Written by the band members themselves, Psychotic Reaction featured a distinctive fuzz-tone guitar sound, aggressive drumming, and vocals that bordered on the unhinged. The 6-minute track was unusual for radio at the time, but its hypnotic quality and driving rhythm kept listeners engaged throughout its extended length. The song's most innovative element was its use of feedback and fuzz tone effects. The guitar sound, created through primitive distortion devices, was unlike anything else on the radio. This wall of distorted sound would become a cornerstone of heavy metal, punk, and alternative rock. Count 5's approach to song structure was also influential. Rather than following traditional pop formulas, Psychotic Reaction built tension through repetition and gradual dynamic changes. This technique would later be adopted by punk bands and alternative rock groups who valued intensity over conventional songcraft. The song's success proved that experimental rock could find a mainstream audience. Its combination of accessible melody with aggressive sound showed that popular music could push boundaries while still connecting with listeners. Psychotic Reaction also demonstrated the power of regional scenes. Count 5 came from San Jose, California, far from the music industry centers of Los Angeles, New York, or Nashville. Their success helped establish the idea that great rock music could come from anywhere. Number 4. Dirty Water by the Standells. The Standells' 1966 anthem Dirty Water might have only reached number 11 on the charts, but its influence on rock music was enormous. This Los Angeles band created what many consider the first true punk rock song, complete with aggressive vocals, simple chord progressions, and an attitude that would define the genre. Written by producer Ed Cobb, Dirty Water was actually about Boston, despite the Standells being from California. The song's narrator declares his love for Boston despite its problems, creating an anthem of urban pride that resonated far beyond New England. What made Dirty Water so influential was its complete rejection of the polished pop music dominating the mid-60s. Dick Dodd's snarling vocals, the band's raw instrumentation, and the overall aggressive attitude created something genuinely rebellious. This wasn't the safe rebellion of the Rolling Stones. This was something more dangerous and immediate. The song's three-chord structure and driving rhythm became a template for countless punk and garage rock bands. Its influence can be heard in everything from the Ramones to the Clash to modern garage rock revivalists. Dirty Water also established the importance of attitude in rock music. The song worked not because of technical proficiency, but because of the band's commitment to their sound and message. This lesson would prove crucial for punk rock, where authenticity mattered more than musical skill. The song became the unofficial anthem of Boston sports teams, played at Fenway Park and other venues for decades. This longevity demonstrates the power of simple, direct rock music to create lasting cultural connections. Number 3. Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys. When the McCoys released Hang On Sloopy in 1965, they created an instant classic that would influence rock music for generations. The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and established many of the elements that would define arena rock and stadium anthems. Originally written by Wes Farrell and Burt Burns as My Girl Sloopy, the song was transformed by the McCoys into something much more powerful. Rick Derringer's guitar work, combined with the band's energetic performance and the song's incredibly catchy hook, created a track that was impossible to ignore. What made Hang On Sloopy so influential was its perfect balance of simplicity and power. The song's basic structure could be learned by any garage band, but its execution required genuine musical skill. This combination made it both accessible and inspiring to young musicians. The song's call and response structure and anthemic quality made it perfect for live performance. Its energy was infectious, and audiences couldn't help but sing along. This participatory aspect would become crucial to arena rock and stadium shows in the 1970s and beyond. Hang On Sloopy also demonstrated the importance of production in rock music. The song's full, powerful sound was carefully crafted in the studio, showing that even simple rock songs could benefit from professional production techniques. The track's influence extended far beyond its initial success. Its guitar riffs influenced countless rock musicians, and its structure provided a template for anthemic rock songs. Everyone from Queen to Def Leppard acknowledged the importance of songs like Hang On Sloopy in developing their sound. Number 2. Gloria by Them. Van Morrison's band. Them recorded Gloria in 1964, but it was their raw, powerful interpretation that transformed this simple song into one of rock's most influential tracks. While it only reached number 93 in the US, its impact on rock music was immeasurable.
Just about midnight.
Written by Morrison himself, Gloria featured just 3 chords, G, F, and C. But those 3 chords contained more power and attitude than most entire albums. The song's structure was almost ridiculously simple, but Morrison's passionate vocals and the band's aggressive instrumentation made it electrifying. What made Gloria so influential was its proof that great rock music could be made with minimal resources. You didn't need complex arrangements or expensive equipment. You just needed conviction and energy. This lesson would prove crucial for countless garage bands throughout the 1960s. The song became a staple of every garage band's repertoire. Its simple chord progression meant that virtually any group could play it. but its emotional intensity required real commitment to pull off effectively. This combination made it both accessible and challenging. Gloria also established many of the elements that would define punk rock. Its three-chord structure, aggressive attitude, and complete rejection of musical sophistication in favor of raw emotion became punk's calling cards. The Ramones, the Stooges, and countless other punk bands all acknowledged Gloria as a major influence. The song's legacy extends far beyond its original recording. Everyone from The Doors to Patti Smith to U2 has covered or referenced Gloria, proving its enduring power and influence. Number 1. You Really Got Me by the Kinks, released in 1964. You Really Got Me by the Kinks didn't just change music, it invented heavy metal. This simple, powerful song reached number 1 in the UK and number 7 in the US. But more importantly, it established the sonic template that hard rock and heavy metal would follow for decades. Written by Ray Davies and featuring his brother Dave on lead guitar, You Really Got Me was revolutionary in its use of distortion and power chords. Dave Davies created the song's distinctive sound by slashing his amplifier speaker with a razor blade, creating a fuzzy, aggressive tone that had never been heard before. The song's riff, one of the most recognizable in rock history, was built on power chords played at breakneck speed. This technique would become the foundation of heavy metal, influencing everyone from Black Sabbath to Metallica. The song proved that volume and aggression could be musical virtues. But You Really Got Me was influential in more than just its sound. Its structure, verse, chorus, guitar solo, became the standard template for hard rock songs. Its energy and directness showed that rock music could be both powerful and concise. The song's success also demonstrated that British bands could create their own distinctive sound, rather than just copying American blues and rock. This gave confidence to countless British musicians and helped fuel the British invasion. Perhaps most importantly, You Really Got Me showed that rock music could be genuinely dangerous and exciting. Its raw power and sexual energy pushed rock into new territory, paving the way for everything from punk rock to heavy metal to alternative rock. The song's influence continues today. Anytime you hear a power chord in rock music, you're hearing the legacy of You Really Got Me. These 10 forgotten tracks prove that the most influential music often comes from unexpected places. While the big hits get remembered, these songs quietly revolutionized how music could sound, feel, and connect with audiences. From the Zombies' sophisticated jazz rock to and the Mysterians' proto-punk, from the Kinks' heavy metal blueprint to the Electric Prunes' psychedelic innovations, these tracks showed that music could be both accessible and experimental, simple and profound. What united all these songs was their willingness to take risks. They didn't follow established formulas or chase existing trends. Instead, they created something new and let audiences catch up. That courage to experiment and innovate changed music forever. These tracks influenced everyone from the Beatles to the Ramones, from Led Zeppelin to Nirvana. Their DNA can be found in every genre of rock music, proving that true innovation never really disappears. It just gets absorbed into the musical bloodstream. The next time you hear a power chord, a fuzz-tone guitar, or a raw garage rock riff, remember these forgotten pioneers who dared to sound different. They may not have always gotten the recognition they deserved, but they changed music forever. If you enjoyed learning about these forgotten gems from the 60s, please like this video and subscribe for more stories about the songs and artists who shaped the music we love.